Students, I welcome all of you once again. In the last session, we had started with lesson number 3, diversity in living things and their classification. I hope so. If you remember, in the last session, we spoke about the classification of the plants. Do you remember what was the name of the scientist who gave us the first scientific classification of the plants? Any guesses? Yeah, the scientist who gave us the first scientific classification of the plants was Carl Linnaeus. So Carl Linnaeus was the first scientist who told us about the different classification system among the living organisms. Okay, so students, as you know that there are different variety of the plant which are found around us, and all plants differ from each other in their size and height, etc. So depending upon size and depending upon heights, plants can be classified into three types. What are the three types of the plants? Trees, shrubs and herbs. So these are the three type of the plant which are found around us. Okay, let's quickly recall all the definition which we have learnt in the last lecture. So what are trees? Trees are very tall and huge plants. They are perennial plants. What is the meaning of the perennial plants? The plants which can be grown for several years, they are called as what? Perennial plants. Okay, so trees are very huge. The example of the trees are mango tree and banyan tree. I hope so you remember. Now, what are the shrubs? Shrubs are those variety of the plants who can grow only up to 2 to 3 meters. Okay, so what are the example of the shrubs? Shrubs example hibiscus plant and oleander plants. So these are the examples of shrubs. Now what is the meaning of herbs? Herbs are those variety of the plants which can only grow up to 1 to 1.5 meters. And the example of the herbs are fenugreek, means methi, and periwinkle flower plant. Okay, so they are the example of the herbs category. So I hope so student, you all know all the three types of the plants in detail. So students, one more category we had learned, that is about vines. What are vines? You know that the stem of the vines, they are very weak. They are not able to grow properly. So these vines need either vertical support or horizontal support for the growth and the development. Am I right? So example of the vine plant, you know that, like for example watermelon, pumpkin, money plant, okay, grape plants. So these are the example of the vines. So vine require the additional support for their growth and development as their stems are very weak. Okay, so students, today we are going to learn here what are the three type of the plant which we divided them according to the period of their life cycle. Now what is the meaning of period of their life cycle? Like you know that there are certain variety of the plant who can complete their growth in only 1 year. There are certain plants which are found around us who takes 2 years to complete their life cycle, and there are many variety of the plant which are found around us who can survive for several years. Okay, so according to the period of their life cycle, the plants are classified into three category. What are those three category? You can see here on the screen. Annual plant, biennial plants, okay, and the third is the perennial plants. Okay, so these are the three variety of the plant which are commonly found around us. So now let's learn about them one by one. Now students, you can see that the plants like jawar, sunflower, etc., these plants complete their life cycle only within 1 year. Okay, so like plants like jawar, sunflower, they complete their life cycle only within 1 year. So they are called as what? Annual plants. Okay, so I repeat the definition of the annual plants. Listen carefully. The plants who complete their life cycle within 1 year, they are called as annual plants. They are called as what? Annual plants, or even you can call them as only annuals also. Okay. So if we ask you, give the example of the annual plants. So what will be the example of the annual plants? So you can say jawar and sunflower. So likewise you can find out the other plants who are comes under this annual category. Okay. Now I hope so you remember what are the annual plants. Repeat the definition after me. The plants who complete their life cycle within 1 year, they are called as what? Annual plants. Okay. After that, now what is the meaning of the biennial plants? Okay, biennial plant means what? There are certain plants variety like carrot and beetroot. So carrot and beetroot, they require 2 years to complete their life cycle. So these plants are called as biennial plants. Bi means what? Two. Bi by. Bi means what? Two. So these category of the plants, they require 2 years for completion of their life cycle. So they are called as what? Biennial plants. Is that clear, students? Shall we repeat the definition once again? Repeat after me. The plants who completes their life cycle within 2 years, they are called as biennial plants. Okay, or even you can call as only biennials. Okay, so what are the example of biennial plants? Carrot and beetroot. Okay, likewise you can again find out what are the examples of the biennial plants. You can find out and you can write down in your notebook also. So right now we just learn about the annual plant. Now just we learnt about the biennial plant, and the next thing which we are going to learn, that is a perennial plant. Now what are the perennial plants, students? Here you can see that there are certain shrubs like hibiscus and oleander, and there are certain trees like mango, banyan tree, gulmohar trees. They live for several years. Several years means what? They survive for many years. So these plants, we call it as what? Perennial plants. What we call them as? Perennial plants. So what is the definition of the perennials? The plants who survive for many years, or you can say the plants who live for several years. The plants who live for several years are called as perennials. Are called as what? Perennials. And do you know that, students, these perennial plants, they bear fruits and flower also. So they bear fruits and flower also. So they are called as what? Perennials. Did you understand now? So what are the example of the perennial plants? Certain shrubs like hibiscus and oleander, and certain trees like mango and gulmohar, they come under the category called as what? Perennial plants. Is that clear? So what are the three type of the plant depending upon the life cycle of the plant? First is annuals, second is biennials, and the third is the perennial. Okay, so these are the three variety of the plant which we divided depending upon their completion of the life cycle. Now students, can you tell me to which part of the plants butterflies and insects are attracted? Have you ever seen butterflies getting attracted towards the plant? Have you ever seen the birds, they are getting attracted towards the plants? So you must have observed many of the time, typically on which part of the plant these butterflies they sit on? Any guesses? There are many parts of the plants, like you can see stem, leaves, flowers, root, okay, and leaves. So these are the different parts of the plants. So particularly on which part of the plant these butterflies and birds and they sit on that? Any guesses? Exactly, among all the type of the plant parts, you know that flower is attractive. Flower has a fragrance also. So because of this property, butterflies and insects are usually attracted toward the flowers. As flowers have bright and attractive color, flowers have good fragrance also. So because of these property, even butterflies, to collect the nectar from the flower, they go and they sit on the flowers. Okay. So students, do you know that even plants are divided into two parts depending upon whether they bear flowers or whether they never bear flowers? Means what? You must have seen that around you there are certain plants who never get flowers, and there are many variety of the plant which are found around us who have many flowers on them. Am I right? So on certain plants flowers are absent, and on certain plants flowers are always present. So depending upon whether flowers are present on plants or whether flowers absent on plants, we divided plants into two category. Okay, so the first category of the plant, it is flowering plant, and the second one is the non-flowering plant. So now you can see from the name itself, flowering plant. Flowering plant means what? The plant that bear flowers. Means what? The plants on which flowers are present. So the plants that bear flowers, they are called as what? Flowering plants. They are called as what? Flowering plants. Now what about the non-flowering plants? Non-flowering. Non-flowering means what? Flowers are absent. Okay, so the plants that never bear flowers are called as non-flowering plants. So I hope so students, we divided the plant again depending upon whether flowers are present on the plants or whether flowers are absent on the plants. So there are two variety, basically flowering plants and the non-flowering plants. And again students, let me tell you that there are non-flowering plants may not have organs like root, stem and leaves. Okay, so there are many type of the plant which you must have seen around you. They must be having stem, roots and leaves, etc. But again there are certain category of the non-flowering plant which is commonly found around us. They do not have roots, stem and leaves. For example, algae. Like you can see that on rock surface, can you see the green layer on the rock surface? So that green layer which you see on that rock surface, or sometime on ponds and lake also, we see the green layer which is growing on the pond surface and lake surface. So this is called as what? Algae. So this algae comes under the non-flowering category. So on these algae, the roots, stem, leaves, etc. are absent. Okay. So what is the example of the non-flowering plant which doesn't have root, stem and leaves? Answer is algae. Did you understand that now? And do you know that students, the world's largest flower, can you see here the world's largest flower? The world's largest flower, here you can see that here in this diagram also, Rafflesia arnoldi. It is about 1 meter long. The flowers are usually this much big or this much big. But here this is a flower, basically it is world's largest flower and it is about 1 meter long. Okay, and it is basically found in the Indonesia. So you can see that over in this diagram, the world's largest flower, it is found in Indonesia. The diameter of the flower, you can see that over here, it is almost about 1 meter. So what is the example of the world's largest flower? What is the name of that flower? Rafflesia arnoldi. It is the name of the world's largest flower. And of course, if we are learning about the world's largest flower, there will be someone who is called as the world's smallest flower also. You can see that over here on the fingertips, there are many flowers which are present. So here in this diagram, the fingertip is present and on the fingertips there are many small flowers are present, and the diameter of this flower, it is hardly 0.5 millimeter. How much it is? 0.5 millimeter. Can you imagine how small it is? You can imagine if the flower can be taken on the fingertip. So how much small it will be. So what is the name of the world's smallest flower? So the world's smallest flower plant, it is called as either Wolfia or duckweed. Wolfia or duckweed, it is the name of the world's smallest flower, and its diameter, it is about 0.5 millimeter. Understood now? So we saw there are two type of the flower, world's smallest flower and world's largest flower. And students, one more thing, as you know that around you there are many variety of the plant which are growing. Okay, so we see different plants growing in different places around us. Plants can be again classified depending upon their habitat. Now what is the meaning of habitat? Habitat means the place where plants grow. The place where plants grow, they are called as what? Habitat. So you know that there are certain plant which usually grows in water. There are certain plant which usually grows in the marshy areas. There are certain plant which usually grow in the desert area. And again there are certain plant which grow on the land surface also. So again, depending upon the location, depending upon the habitat. Habitat means what? The place where plants grow. So depending upon the habitat, again plants are divided into subcategory. So let's see that one by one. What are the subcategories? So as you can see that over here, plants like lotus, they grows on the water. You must have seen many of the time lotus also. So plants like lotus, they grow in the water. So can I say that lotus is the aquatic plant? Aquatic plant means what? The plant which are growing in water. And you must have seen that the plants like cactus, okay, the plants like cactus, they grow in the desert area. So in desert area the temperature is very high, okay, and there is water deficiency. So in water deficiency, in high temperature, cactus is favorable to grow in the desert area. Okay, so guys, depending upon the habitat where plants are growing, we divided plants into basically again 5 parts. Basically these are the plant which we classify depending upon their habitats. So what are the habitats? The first is the land. Land means what? There are certain plants which will grow on the land surface normally. Water, like you can see that just I told you, plant like lotus, they grow in the water. And marshy areas. Marshy area means what? The muddy area, okay, the muddy area, salty area, okay. So even in that category the plants are capable to grow. And in desert, just I told you regarding the cactus, cactus usually grows in the desert area. And do you know, even there are certain plant who grows on the other big trees. So there are small plant, like we learnt about the heterotroph plant. Okay, heterotroph plant, they grows on the stem or branches of the other plants. So it will be their habitat. So it is called as what? Big tree. So even on big trees, small plants are capable to grow. So that big tree will be the habitat for some small plants. So guys, what we had learned? Depending upon the habitat, there are basically how many habitats of the plants? So the habitats of the plants are 5. Habitat means, again I repeat, the place where plants grow. So what are the habitats of the plants? Land, water, marshy area, deserts and big trees. Okay, so I hope so student, what are the different habitat of the plant you must have understood. Now let's revise once again whatever we have learned today. We learned that according to the period of the life cycle, the plants are again divided into 3 types: annual, biennial and perennial. The plant which complete life cycle within 1 year, they are called as annuals. The plants which complete their life cycle within 2 years, they are called as biennials. And the plants who live for several years, they are called as what? Perennials. Okay. And again, depending upon whether plants whether flowers are present or where flowers are absent, we again classified plants into 2 categories, that is flowering plant and non-flowering plant. On flowering plant, flowers are present, and on non-flowering plant, flowers are absent. So depending upon whether plants bear flowers or never bear flowers, we classified plants into the two category. And again, what we saw today? We saw the different habitats of the plants. So what are the different habitats of the plant? You can see here: land, water, marshy area, desert, and big trees. I hope so. Whatever concepts we have learned today, you must have understood that. So the next part of this topic we shall continue in the next lecture. Okay? Till then, bye. See you. Take care.